the ocean does not need to explain itself to anyone. It simply moves with a profound, deep weight that dictates its own ancient and powerful rhythm. Have you ever wondered why, in a world that never stops screaming for attention, the strongest souls among us often choose the path of absolute solitude? Today, we unlock the secrets of the solitary path through the timeless wisdom of legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi and the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Stay with us, because the 6 rules we are about to reveal will completely transform the way you perceive loneliness and your own inner power. True strength is not found in numbers, but in the quiet confidence of a spirit that needs no external validation to know its own worth. We often mistake being alone for being weak, yet history shows that those who mastered themselves in isolation became the most influential forces of change. Prepare to enter the sanctuary of the mind, where the noise of the world fades and the voice of your true destiny finally begins to speak. Rule number 1. Solitude is the ultimate form of self-mastery. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, spent his life refining the art of the solitary path. In his final work, the Dakodo, Musashi left 21 principles for those who wish to walk alone, emphasizing that one must never go against tradition. He taught that the strongest warrior is the one who requires no crowd to confirm his value or his skill on the field of battle. When you rely on others for your happiness, you effectively hand them the power to destroy you whenever they choose to walk away from your life. Musashi believed that by detaching from the desire for approval, a person becomes truly invincible and capable of facing any obstacle with a clear mind. Choosing to be alone is not an act of social anxiety, but a deliberate decision to protect your energy from the distractions of the mediocre majority. Comment below. My silence is my strength to signal your commitment to this journey of self-reliance and the mastery of your own unique path today. Musashi's path was one of total discipline, where every moment spent alone was an investment in the perfection of his character and his martial craft. He walked the earth as a shadow, belonging to no one but himself, proving that the highest form of power is found in total independence. To walk the solitary way is to accept that you are the only person responsible for your failures and the only one entitled to your victories. Every strike of his sword was a prayer to the truth, a truth that could only be heard in the profound silence of his own isolated existence. Rule number 2. Build your inner fortress. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, understood that the world is chaotic, but the mind can be a sanctuary. He wrote that people seek retreats in the country or by the sea, but the most peaceful place a man can find is within himself. This inner fortress is a mental space where external events cannot reach you, unless you allow them to penetrate your walls of logic and reason. Being alone is the perfect opportunity to strengthen these walls, to practice the art of objective observation without being swept away by emotional turbulence. When you are comfortable in your own company, you become immune to the manipulations of those who use social pressure to control your behavior. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning that he would meet ungrateful and violent people, yet he chose to remain untroubled in his inner kingdom. Your mind is the only kingdom you truly own. Why would you let the opinions of strangers or the noise of society invade its peace? By withdrawing into your inner fortress, you find a source of energy that is self-sustaining and independent of the fickle praise of the modern world. This is the essence of Stoicism. To realize that while you cannot control what happens to you, you have absolute control over how you react. Once the gates of the inner fortress are closed, the storms of the world become nothing more than distant whispers that have no power over you. Rule number 3. Beware the trap of recognition. In the digital age, we are addicted to the cheap dopamine of likes and empty online validation. Many people announce their big goals in January, basking in the early applause before they have even taken a single step toward their actual objective. By March, they have failed. Why? Because they exhausted their mental energy on the feeling of achievement rather than the grueling work of the process. The strongest individuals choose to work in the shadows. They understand that silence is a protective layer that keeps their ambition focused and potent. When you don't seek applause, you also don't fear criticism. Your drive comes from within, making your progress inevitable and your spirit completely unbreakable. The trap of recognition is a golden cage that keeps you performing for an audience that doesn't actually care about your long-term success or growth. Escape the need to be seen. True power is cultivated in the moments when no one is watching and no one is there to clap. Discipline is what you do when the world is asleep. It is the secret fuel of those who eventually stand at the very top alone. They do not need your pity when they fail, and they do not need your permission to succeed. They are the masters of their own destiny. Growth is often a quiet, invisible process that happens in the dark. Only the final result is ever visible to the wandering eyes of the world. Rule number 4, the power of the pause. Real strength is most visible in your ability to control your anger during moments of high pressure. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic or insults you online. Your immediate instinct is to react with rage, to fight back and defend your ego. But the master of self knows that between the stimulus and your reaction, there is a tiny, precious space where your true freedom actually lives. By choosing not to react, you maintain your internal peace and prove that no stranger has the power to dictate your emotional state at any time. Those who walk alone are often the most composed. They have learned that anger is a poison you drink while hoping it kills your enemies. When you master the pause, you master your life. You become a silent observer rather than a victim of your own primitive and impulsive biological urges. This stoic indifference is not a lack of emotion, but a superior level of emotional intelligence that separates the leaders from the loud and weak followers. Every second you spend in anger is a second of peace you can never recover. The solitary man values his time far too much for that. Silence in the face of aggression is the ultimate display of dominance. It shows that your foundation is far too deep to be shaken by fools. Be like the lion who does not turn around when a small dog barks. Your journey is too important to be delayed by trivial and petty conflicts. Rule number 5. Understand the difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is a state of lack. Solitude is a state of abundance and inner wealth. Loneliness is the fear of being alone, because you don't like who you are when there is no one else around to distract you from yourself. Solitude, however, is when you are happy because you have your own mind for company. It is the birthplace of all great art and revolutionary ideas. The greatest minds in history, from Lao Tzu to Emerson, use their time alone to tap into a universal wisdom that is inaccessible to the noisy crowd. When you embrace solitude, you stop running away from your thoughts and start using them to build a better version of your own reality. In the silence, you discover your true strengths and confront your deepest shadows. This is the only way to achieve genuine and lasting self-transcendence. Don't be afraid of the quiet. It is not an empty void, but a fertile ground where the seeds of your future greatness are currently being planted. Comment below. My calm is my power to claim your mastery over your emotions and your commitment to finding peace in your own solitary presence. Solitude is the laboratory of the soul. It is where you refine your character and burn away the impurities of social conditioning and false beliefs. You are a work in progress, and the finest details of your soul can only be carved out when you are alone with your own thoughts. Rule number 6. Be your own North Star. The world will always try to tell you who to be, how to act, and what to value. But the person who walks alone has their own internal compass. They do not look to others for direction because they know exactly where they're going. You were born alone, and you will leave this world alone. Learning to walk by yourself is the most practical skill you can ever acquire. This doesn't mean you should be selfish or unkind. It means you must be so solid that you can support others without being pulled down yourself. Let's recap. Master yourself, build your inner fortress, ignore the trap of recognition, control your anger, embrace solitude, and trust your own internal North Star. The journey of 1,000 miles truly does begin with a single solitary step. Are you brave enough to take it today without any hesitation? The most powerful version of you is waiting in the silence. Go there, find him, and bring that strength back into everything you do in life. You are the architect of your own character. Every choice to stand alone for what is right makes your foundation stronger and your spirit more resilient. The stars shine brightest in the deepest darkness. Do not fear the dark times of your life. They are simply the stage for your own light. Pass on this wisdom to those who are ready to hear it, but remember that the realization must ultimately come from within their own seeking hearts. Freedom is the ability to walk away from anything that no longer serves the growth of your soul or the integrity of your own higher purpose. Thank you for walking this path with us today. Your presence here shows that you are ready to reclaim the power that has always been yours. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to our channel to join a community of individuals dedicated to the art of stoicism and mental mastery. Every video we create is a tool for your evolution. Use them to sharpen your mind and fortify your heart against the noise of the world. The world needs more people who are comfortable in their own skin. It needs more people who can lead themselves before they try to lead others. Go forth with the heart of a samurai and the mind of an emperor. Your destiny is calling, and it is waiting for you in the silence. Walk your path with courage and unwavering conviction. We will see you in the next chapter of your journey. Stay strong and stay solitary.